Welcome everybody here to race number 13 of the 2015 NASCAR Xfinity Series season. We are live here from the Michigan International Speedway for the running of the Great Clips 250. The NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Spring Up Series we are racing here this weekend from Michigan, while the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series we are racing from Gateway later tonight. But right now it is the Xfinity Series race number 13 of the year. On the front row is your Daytona winner, Ty Dillon, first pole of the year for that number 3 team. On the outside of the front row is Denny Hamlin in the 20. Row 2, Chris Buescher in the 60. He had a great run last week at Dover, or had a great run going at Dover until some issues took place. Alongside is the number 33 of Paul Menard. And then on row 3 we have the number 22. That is Brad Keselowski, backing behind the wheel of the Discount Tire Ford. Alongside is the number 98 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Kyle Larson, Brian Scott, Kevin Harvick, and Ryan Reed will complete your top 10. But before we go green, let's get you down trackside so we can get the most famous words in motorsports, and I've already missed it. Oh well. Anyway, let's give you a chance to see your full starting grid for today's Great Clips 250, race number 13 of the year. Alrighty, we are back, and we are on our final pace lap before we go green. Last time we were at a Xfinity race was actually 2 weeks ago at Dover. These guys were off last weekend, but 2 weeks ago we left off with that number 22 car in Victory Lane with Joey Logano behind the wheel. So far, Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano has been able to put that 22 car in Victory Lane. Can Brad Keselowski do it today? So show you some guys who are in the field. Alex Kennedy driving the 19 car this weekend for TriStar Motorsports. Cody Ware is in the 15 for Rick Ware Racing. Timmy Hill's in the 13. Jimmy Weller is in the 90. Mike Bliss driving the 26 for JGL Racing. Alex Bowman aboard that number 25. David Reagan driving the 29 for RB Racing. And a little further up through the field we have Larson, Stenhouse, Paul Menard, but Ty Dillon, the guy in the front row, alongside Denny Hamlin, leading us down to the green flag. We're underway from Michigan. And Chris Buescher already makes it 3 wide for the race lead before we even get down into turn 1. Ryan Scott trying to come up through the middle. They're 4 wide now. Almost 4 wide, entering turn 1. Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, 54.88. Stenhouse losing a lot of spots on this start. And they're all bunched up together as they come off turn 2. Denny Hamlin comes out with the lead. Ty Dillon in the middle. Paul Menard up to second. As they remain 3 by 3. Chris Buescher on the inside. Brian Scott slides high. And they've already had a big pack back here who's already lost the draft. The lead pack, I should say. Coming down towards the line, Denny Hamlin. Paul Menard pulling away from the third place battle, but up front comes Paul Menard to the inside for the race lead. More 4 wide back here, Regan Smith in the 7. Up here we got Elliott Sadler in the 1, Stenhouse 98, Ryan Scott 2, Daniel Suarez 18, Darrell Wallace Jr., Ryan Sieg, there's Reagan. The top 21 is driven away from JJ Yaley in that 28 car. Right now, Hamlin, Menard, Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Larson in top 5. As we are now 3 laps into the race, and they are still racing aggressively back here outside the top 15. We're almost outside the top 10. We got David Reagan up in the outside wall. Chase Elliott's involved as well. Reagan and Brendan Gunn slides down the track. And Reagan, oh, can these guys avoid that spinning or that slow 29? caution flag will wave here on lap number 4. We saw it coming. Brendan Gaughan, David Reagan, Chase Elliott all get together off turn 2, and the caution will come out, and some pretty good significant damage on your championship point leader, Chase Elliott. Elliott comes into this race with a 36-point lead on Darrell Wallace Jr. Now Elliott has some rear end damage. Let's see how it took place. Right here off turn 2, let's go from the helicopter view so we can get some better camera angles. Looks like Brendan Gaughan either turned David Reagan up or Reagan came up into Gaughan. Elliott, just a innocent bystander, and Ryan C got some contact with the outside wall. Really, nobody severely got damaged. In fact, I think Chase Elliott may have got the worst of it because you see all the rear end damage on the 9. And you really don't see that much damage on the 29 of David Reagan or the 62. Well, Brendan Gaughan has some pretty good right side damage, but no drivers got severe damage that would take their cars out the race. But possibly winning the race could be out of the question, though. We're 4 laps into the race. Denny Hamlin, Paul Menard, Brian Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Larson in top 5. Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Ty Dillon, Regan Smith, and Brian Scott in your top 10. Welcome back to Michigan for the Great Clips 250. We are on the yellow after a crash that took out or involved our championship point leader, Chase Elliott. Right now, Elliott and Brendan Gaughan are restarting at the tail end of the field. Right now, Elliott 39th and Brendan Gaughan is 40th. Right now, Darrell Wallace Jr. is the only driver who could leave Michigan with a chance at the point lead, but that's a long shot because he's 36 points behind Brian Scott, who is 30 points. He is 56. That is how good of a season Elliott has had, but right now he's going to need some help if he can hang on to that point lead. Up front, Denny Hamlin out in front, Paul Menard, Brian Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Larson. Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth. We have not talked about this story today, but so far this is the first time in his career Matt Kenseth is driving for the 54 team. Eric Jones not able to be in that car as he will be reaching that gateway tonight. Coming out turn number 4. Race car will hit pit lane. Denny Hamlin, Paul Menard, and Keselowski are top 3. 7 laps are on the board. Beginning racing back on lap number 8 of 25. So far, Denny Hamlin already has 2 wins this year. Phoenix and Charlotte, but they were driving the 54. But Joe Gibbs Racing this weekend he's driving the 20. And out of the inside comes Keselowski and Harvick. There's Paul Menard and Kyle Larson on the outside lane, but Larson will get a run off turn 2. That momentum will carry all the way down the back straightaway. Now he crosses lanes. He moves to the inside of Chris Buescher. And bringing the 54, Matt Kenseth to his inside. Paul Menard on the outside of Keselowski, but that momentum from Menard, will that help him on Denny Hamlin? And we have the 43 of Dakota Armstrong on pit road, so in a camshaft issue for the 43 of Dakota Armstrong. That is a tough break for the guy who's 14th in points. Side by side in second place, Keselowski and Menard. We got Larson and now Kevin Harvick will get inside the top 5. Chris Buescher back to 6th, Regan Smith 7th, Matt Kenseth, Ty Dillon, and Brian Scott. Kenseth now on the inside of Smith, and now looking on the inside of Chris Buescher as they come off turn 4. Harvick now battling the 42 of Kyle Larson. And Keselowski was never able to get around that 33 of Paul Menard. This is Paul's 2nd race of the year, I believe. Harvick up high. Here comes Buescher and Kenseth on the inside now. Thing about Michigan, this track has a lot of grooves. We can run high, run in the middle, or run on the bottom. Just depends where your car will be fast and where your car can keep up that speed to run fast here at Michigan. Right now, Paul Menard was able to keep and hold off that 22. Now on the back bumper, trailing behind the 20 of Denny Hamlin. Let's check outside the top 5. Actually, let's check outside the top 10. Talked about Darrell Wallace Jr. This could be a great point stay for this number 6. Right now, he is up at 13th, trying to get 12th from his teammate Elliott Sadler, but as we go deeper through the field, we'll find Brendan Gaughan and Chase Elliott. They've all worked their way up inside the top 35 right now. Elliott, he's going to turn Jimmy Weller. Or he does, but Jimmy Weller sees it. Now Elliott comes back up the track, and Elliott does a nice job not getting turned by the 13 of Timmy Hill. And Elliott still, the Nat 9 is not happy with the 90 of Jimmy Weller. That would be for 30th place, and that 9 is pushing that 90. Brendan Gaughan has been able to work his way up through the 23rd spot, battling with Landon Castle. Now Elliott to the outside of Jimmy Weller. See how the damage on the rear end of that Napa Chevrolet. You can tell it's kind of affecting the handling and no doubt the speed. David Reagan is right now up at 19th. He has a lot of smoke up here. Not sure what has happened. We're under yellow. We're not under yellow, but we saw a lot of smoke. Not sure what's this from. Alex Kennedy, the 19 of Alex Kennedy. Kennedy has been up in the outside wall. And up front, these guys are still single file, and nobody has yet been able to get around that 20 of Denny Hamlin. Paul Menard, Brad Keselowski, your top 3. Remember, Paul Menard won this race 1 year ago after Joey Logano, jobbing that. We'll get to that in a minute. But Hamlin, all these guys, jobbing by the 19 of Alex Kennedy, who gets out of the way, but Buescher almost runs over him. Top 9 gets through. Brian Scott nearly makes contact with the 19 of Kennedy. Like we have the 3 wide back here. Menard, Keselowski, and Kyle Larson on the inside. 3 wide for second place in the track. All going behind race leader Denny Hamlin. Now Matt Kenseth to the inside of the number 60 of Chris Buescher. And Kevin Harvick has nowhere to go but make it 4 wide. Who will the 88 help, or he's going to make his own lane, trying to get 4 wide, the 88 of Harvick. But he stays behind the 22 of Keselowski, and he will jump up into second place. Menard falls back to at least 3rd as he gets run on the outside of Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson. The speed is mainly up top, but the inside lane is the shorter way around, but that will not always be the case to make speed. And here comes Kenseth down to the inside. That 54 has been making some moves since the restart, and now Matt to the inside of Kyle Larson. We were saying before they caught the 19. Remember last year, Paul Menard won this race after Joey Logano, who was driving this 22 car, cut a tire with about 3 to go. Logano came down pit road, and the lead and the win went to Paul Menard, driving this 33 car. Now he's up here trying to go back-to-back wins. Alex Kennedy is now 1 lap down at Chase Elliott, trying to work his way up through the field. Right now, Brendan Gaughan has done a nice job up inside the top 20, and that right now, Elliott is back here in 24th. The inside of Jeremy Clements, and right on the back bumper of the Ford of Ross Chastain. Still, some pretty good points that some of these guys will gain, but Elliott trying to keep them from gaining points as he's trying to pick up as much spots and as much points as he possibly can. But Elliott's being a little bit too aggressive right now, racing the Ford Chastain and 0-1 Landon Castle. But the farther Elliott gets up through the field, the harder it will be to catch down with guys like Brendan Gaughan or David Reagan. These are some pretty good cars. And give a shout out to some guys like JJ Yaley and Ryan Sieg right now running up inside the top 20. Alex Bowman up inside the top 15. Should he get around Daniel Suarez or Ryan Reed. Back here, 3 Fords, Sadler, Wallace, and Stenhouse. And we have the 90 of Jimmy Weller on pit road. Second car to come down pit road today, Jimmy Weller. The first car, actually. And we have guys racing for the lead. Here comes Brad Keselowski to the inside of Denny Hamlin. And look at the lap traffic up ahead. Denny's lost a lot of races in the Cup Series this year because of lap traffic. Will he lose a Xfinity race? Keselowski's second. His 2 Cup wins has been because of lap traffic. Kevin Harvick now up to 3rd. Paul Menard and Kyle Larson in top 5. And here they come, catching the slower lap traffic. Kevin Harvick on the inside. Denny Hamlin and Paul Menard getting held up by lap traffic. Here comes Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson gets by all Denny Hamlin, Paul Menard, and Larson, pushing Kevin Harvick down into turn 3. He swings it low, makes the move to the inside, but Harvick will have the run on the outside lane. 6 to go. Can Keselowski, Hamlin, and Menard rebound? Regan Smith now up to 6. Menard still dropping back, almost outside the top 10. Paul Menard is now the last car up inside the top 10. Larson to the inside of Harvick. Drives that Parker Stone Chevrolet down into turn 1. Now they will come up on a slower 90 of Jimmy Wheeler, who has already been on pit road. And Kyle Larson will use Jimmy Wheeler as a pick. Harvick stuck behind the 90. Larson to the lead in the 42. Now Hamlin to the inside of his teammate Matt Kenseth, as Kenseth will be stuck behind the 90 of Jimmy Wheeler. Side by side for the lead now. Here comes Regan Smith. He won this race 2 years ago. Keselowski battling Kyle Larson. It's been so hard for guys to be able to make a move on the inside lane. Can Keselowski do it on Larson? Guy who's starting to come back is at number 20 of Denny Hamlin. But does these cars are so equal, and it's going to be really hard for some of these guys to make a move, and Keselowski might clear Larson off turn 4. He got some drafting help from the 88 of Kevin Harvick. To the lead now goes the 22 of Brad Keselowski. And now Harvick has a shot to get on the inside of Brad. Makes a move to the inside down in turn 1. Larson Smith side by side for third place. Denny Hamlin following these 42 on the outside lane. It appears that both the 42 and the 20 will clear the 7 down the back straightaway. They both do. Now Denny makes a move to the inside. Hamlin trying to come back in the 20. Now the next cars that they would catch would be the 24 of Eric McClure, and right up ahead is the 19 of Alex Kennedy. The 70 of Derek Coop has took his 70 car behind the wall, so tough break for the 70. A header issue has gone bad on the 70. Now Hamlin on the inside of Regan Smith, but how about the 3 of Ty Dillon coming up here in the mix? Ty, the pole center, has not led a lap today, racing his 2 teammates Paul Menard and Brian Scott. One more time, let's check on Brendan Gaughan and Chase Elliott. Right now, Gaughan is 18th. Elliott is right now 21st. It doesn't appear that Elliott will be able to make up any more time. Coming down, 2 to go, and now they are all catching lap traffic, the 19 and the 24. Here comes Kevin Harvick out in front by Keselowski on the outside. Will he get a run on the 88 and the 20? Here comes Keselowski on the outside of Denny Hamlin. That momentum the 22 will push that 88 all the way down the straightaway. Coming down to the white flag, this time by Kevin Harvick on the inside, Keselowski on the outside, Denny Hamlin third, Paul Menard, and Kyle Larson in the top 5. They will see the white flag, one more lap to go for Kevin Harvick. Can Denny Hamlin do anything with the 88 of Harvick? It is just so hard to make that inside line work, and I believe that will give the advantage to that 88 of Harvick. Now Hamlin moves a higher groove up the track. He makes a run on the outside of Kevin Harvick. He has a run. Will he make a move to the inside of the track? Down here in turn 3, he has one more shot to the inside of Denny Hamlin. Does Keselowski maybe try to give the 20 a little bit of drafting help on the inside? It's going to be a drag race as they come off turn 4. Keselowski helping the 20. Brad moves high to help Harvick. Menard on the inside behind Hamlin. Coming down to the line. 88 of Kevin Hart. No, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin got him at the line. Denny Hamlin wins the Great Clips 250 and a fantastic photo finish here at Michigan. What a finish this is between Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. And look at that finish. It's got to be like the closest finish this year possibly in the history of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Unbelievable. Look at that photo finish between Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. No doubt Keselowski will come on third, Paul Menard fourth, but Denny Hamlin, he is the winner after I mean, look at the margin of victory. 0-0-1. 1/1000th of a second between Hamlin and Harvick. That separates the winner. And Denny Hamlin, his third win of 2015, won his first race of the year at Phoenix, then won again at Charlotte, and now went winner here at Michigan for Denny Hamlin. What a finish that was, man. Matt Kenseth 9th and Brian Scott top 10. Chase Elliott comes back there, finished 21st. Brendan Gaughan 17th. David Reagan 19th. After that contact with the first crash. But man, that was some crazy stuff there at the end. And Derek Cope and Dakota Armstrong had a mechanical failure in the race. But what a finish that was for Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and both of these guys will be racing in tomorrow's Cup race. What did guys like Hamlin, Harvick, Keselowski, Menard, Larson, Ty Dillon, Chris Buescher, all these guys will be in tomorrow's Cup race? What have they learned from this race? What can they transfer over to the Cup race that could help guys like Kyle Larson and Paul Menard get their first win and punch their ticket into the NASCAR chase? We'll find out tomorrow, but next, or later tonight, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, live on the start track at Gateway Motorsports Park. So we'll see you down there in Gateway. Until next time, congrats to Denny Hamlin on his third win in the 2015 NASCAR Xfinity Series season.